Pitfall. No, not that one. No, not that one. No, not that one either. There you go. The game was first released by Activision, yes, that Activision, in 1982. The game was released to glittering reviews and catapulted Activision into being a household name. But how did this fledgling company get its start? Well, it all began when a Satan company called Warner Brothers acquired Atari in 1976. Warner came in and saw how the Atari company was being run, and they were not too happy at all. They began incorporating horrible corporate policies like wearing suits and making Steve Jobs take a bath. Thankfully, a few employees managed to make their daring escape from this horrible work environment to start their own company, Activision. And Activision would never do anything problematic. Right? Right? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the actual game. In Pitfall, you control a weirdly pink man on his holy quest through the jungle to collect treasures and avoid obstacles. You've got rolling logs, scorpions, campfires, opening and shutting pits, and the crocodiles. I hate the crocodiles. Shit. Motherfucker. Alright, this time I got it. Jump, 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 no! Fun fact, the guy you play as actually has a name. You guys are never gonna get this one. His name is Pitfall Harry. I love these little vines because he makes a little Tarzan noise when he swings on them. But other than that, the game really has nothing else to it. Pure simplicity. And that really is the best kind of video game. I don't need the game to hold my hand. I don't need 2-hour-long tutorials. I am a real gamer. And check out these graphics too. Look at these animations. I mean, this isn't exactly on par with our modern consoles, but this is certainly a step up from a game like Pong. And though there's no real stated goal, there actually is a way to win at Pitfall. By collecting all 32 treasures without falling into a pit or hitting any obstacles, you can achieve a perfect score of 114,000. And though it is a task most Sisyphean, a task most Herculean, people really did try. It was like a rite of passage back in the day to get a really high score in Pitfall. The game was everywhere, and for very good reason too. The game went on to be one of the highest rated games on the Atari 2600, and it was so good that it even survived the video game's crash of 1983. Ports of Pitfall were made for the Apple II, the Atari 5200, the Atari 8-bit, the ColecoVision, the Commodore 64, the Intellivision, and the MSX. Another fun fact about Pitfall is that Jack Black's first television appearance was on the commercial for Pitfall. He was 13 at the time. So maybe we have Pitfall to thank for Tenacious D? Kung Fu Panda? But that's not the only thing we have Pitfall to thank for. Look at the game right now. What do you see? You see a man running. Okay. Which direction am I running? Perhaps left to right? That's right, Pitfall is one of the early ancestors of the side-scrolling platformer genre, a genre of games that would go on to dominate the gaming industry until the invention of 3D graphics. So next time you fire up your old copy of Super Mario Bros. For the NES, think about Pitfall. And you wouldn't be the only one thinking about Pitfall, because here's the thing, Activision loves Pitfall. There are a few other things that Activision loves as well, but I already told you we're not going to get into that, okay? So stop asking about it. Okay, I'll address the elephant in the room. Activision is still alive and well to this day, even more successful than their original parent company, Atari. Activision went on to publish one of the most explosive games of the early 2000s and modern era, that being the Call of Duty line of games. And Pitfall makes an appearance in many different Call of Duty games as a fully playable Easter egg. Pitfall appears in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and Call of Duty World War II. So just like Pong, Pitfall is just one of those games that somehow managed to survive the test of time. It went on to receive several sequels on many different console generations. Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure was released on many different 16-bit platforms like the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis in 1994. Pitfall even had a brief foray into the third dimension with the release of Pitfall: The Lost Expedition in 2004 for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. In that game, you actually play as Pitfall Harry's son, Pitfall Harry Jr., I know, very original. and he is voiced by Bruce Campbell of all people. But unfortunately, very soon after, in 2008, Pitfall would receive its last sequel in the form of Pitfall: The Big Adventure for the Nintendo Wii. And that, boys and girls, is where our story ends. There were attempts to revive Pitfall. In 2012, David Crane announced a Kickstarter for a game called Jungle Venture, a spiritual successor to the original games. But that never went through because David Crane thought it would be a good idea to ask for almost $1 million to make a Pitfall remake. But it's still so impressive that a game made for the Atari 2600 was around so long that there were talks of reviving it in 2012. That's a lifespan that is only reserved for sheer titans of the video game industry like Mario. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Yay, I love the crocodiles, so much fun. Yay. They're so funny. I love the crocodiles. What? What? Oh, I did it! I did it! I hate this game.